3. Yeah. Oh! Sorry, I just clunked my mechanic in the head. Very hard. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This right here is our family's Ford Taurus, 99 Ford Taurus. And on this side over here, I'd say about a couple months ago, we started noticing like a knocking noise or a bouncing noise coming from the side of the car. So we tore it apart and found that the shock was completely destroyed and put a new shock in it. And then we noticed that the car was sitting a tiny bit, you know, like this when it was on the ground. This side was a little higher than the old shock was. So nothing was wrong with the shock, but it just feels weak. So today, since I figured, well, I did that one all by myself, so let's film it and put it on YouTube with how this one is, since we're expert now. So this side is nothing wrong with it, except it's old. So our goal is to remove this bolt back here and pull off this clamp for this brake line, and then spread these two things apart right here that hold the spindle on. And then up top here, there's 3 bolts right behind the seat, which the whole seats come out of this thing pretty easily. I'll show you how to do that later on in the video if we get that far. So with the last bolt, to get that bolt out, I got it loose with a wrench. I took the impact driver on a low setting and just ratcheted it back and forth, and kept spraying oil into it every time I got to turn it a little bit. And then eventually, after about 20 times back and forth, they finally came out. So that's what we're going to try again today, without trying not to break anything off. So yeah, let's just get into it and see what happens. So here we go.
One eternity later.
Alright guys, it's the next day. It's all bright and sunny out here. And check this out. I got the bolt out. So, proof the impacts are absolutely awesome. Because I put wrenches on this thing yesterday and pulled on it and pounded on it. I could not get it off. My dad had this adapter that went from 1/2-inch drive to 3-inch drive. So they had to use 18mm socket on here. And this morning I pulled it right out. So just keep working it back and forth, slowly. Put it on a low setting, go back and forth with it, put oil on it each time, and you should get it out. So next step is to pull this bolt out right here, which I have loosened, holds these brake line on, and then all I have to do is open up. You can see this very well or not. Let's see, I'll let light go. Because if you can see this very well or not, the back in there, it's basically just a clamp. So you just spread the clamp apart and slide it off this strut. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do now, and then we can go ahead, remove the interior of the car, and unbolt the shock up in here. So let's get to it. Alright, you guys get the idea of what's going on here. Basically just pounding around it, spreading it apart with the screwdriver until I get the crowbar in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this into time-lapse mode, that way then I don't eat up all my card and you guys don't get bored. So let's do that. Alright guys, now you can see that clamp I was talking about right there. The shock's out. So basically, that right there, the bolt goes through right there, and then it clamps onto that right there. So now I'll go ahead and move into the interior of the car and turn it out. So let's go do it. Alright, so the first thing I do, I move the back seat. I come over here to the passenger side seat over here, pull the little latch up here, and pull the seat forward. That way then, I get a little more leg room back here while I'm pulling the seat out. And then, coming back here, and underneath the back cushion button here, it's basically only latched in. And under here, there's two latches over there and over here. All you have to do is push in on it. Easy to do with two hands. All you do is push in on it. Okay, let me set you guys up and I'll try this again. Alright, so all you guys do is come under here and then push towards the back of the car. That lifts it up. Same thing over here. And this whole thing just lifts up and comes right out. Go ahead and put that outside, trying to get it too dirty. And then come in here. Get you guys in here. I'll show you what's going on. So then you come in here. I usually just take this latch right here, the center seat, unhook it so that I can go freely through the back seat like that. And then pull these seat belts off to the side so not in the way. Pull these little latches out right here and over there. And then you expose these 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The long ones go on the bottom, short ones on top, if I remember correctly. I'll see you when I pull them out. Then that'll allow this whole back piece right here just to come out. Then I'll show you from there. Yep, short ones on top. The long ones also have the big washers on the bottom, on the top of the bolts also. So they go on the bottom. And now, this thing is ready. Put these back in here, get them out of the way. Come in here, and then pick up on it like that. Pull the seat belt out of the way. Whole thing will pivot forward. And then you can go ahead and pull it out. Alright guys, then the next step will be to remove this back carpet piece in the back here. The only thing holding it on is this little black, like people call them plastic Christmas tree thing. There's one there, one here. Just come in here with your screwdriver on the bottom here and just prime up very gently, trying to break stuff. Hear it pop, pop, just like so, and then you can pull it out. That's what it looks like. These little plastic Christmas tree like things. Put those down there. And next one over here. If you have a nice tool to do it, it's a pretty simple job. I don't happen to have that tool. There we go. Pops out just like so. And now, the hard part about this is getting this piece out without unclipping these. The other time I did this, I accidentally cracked the plastic right there. You can't even really see it when it's all put together, but I did accidentally crack that when I was pulling this out before. Just be careful with that because this stuff will bend quite a bit before it creases, but it's not too much. So just be careful when you do this. And then, the only thing left is this black covering right here, but that's not really bolted or anything or held in any way, so I just usually do take it out, do both sides, but I did one at a time. Just pulled it off just like that. And what in the world is all this? Oh my gosh. It's like rust. That is interesting. You guys can see that or not, but that's just like a giant pile of rust. Where did that come from? Anyway, there's the 3 bolts. There, there, and here. To hold the shock on, and the whole shock should drop out the bottom, so I'll see you there. They're snug. There she goes. Hope it didn't hit anything important. Ouch. Wait. Sorry, Wiggling. That was a mean of the shock to do that. Alright guys, here is the shock we just pulled out. And this one right here was not that far away from doing the same thing and just replaced on the other shock. As you can see, it's all broken out on the top here. So yeah, that's the other one was just completely broken out, so that's why I'm making the rattling noise. This one wasn't that far away, so I'm glad we're doing this. You can see in here it's not terrible, but it's definitely broken out. The other one was completely gone inside of here, so yeah, glad we're doing this. So let's go unbox the new shock and put it in the vehicle. Somebody pulled the staples out. I'm annoyed at that. I love pulling staples out of cardboard. Just kidding, I'm glad they did that. Alright, so check that out. It's so pretty. A beautiful blue. All nice and shiny and clean. Check that out. Look at the inside of that. All together still. Alright, instructions. Don't need those. Warning, gas pressurized unit. Do not heat or open. No, I'm not gonna do that. Alright, let's go ahead and install this thing on the vehicle. Alright guys, so getting this new shock in by yourself is a huge pain. So, I enrolled my helper over here to stand in here with these nuts that are on here. Take them off, please. There we go. And then when I put this up through here, then he can put the nuts on them, and then it's all happy and we're all good to go. So, let's do it. Oh!
Sorry, I just clunked my mechanic in the head.
Very hard. Alright guys, now we have the shock in here and I've recovered from my bang in the head. Now we can go ahead and start assembling the rest of this, which is basically just push it down on this thing and then pull this over here, stick it right in there, and then you gotta take this and twist it like that a decent amount until you get it seated in there. And start working your way up. This one's being stubborn, so I should have to take a jack just simply jack it up. Take our bolt. Let's put some WD-40. And then take our impact. There we go. Okay. And then you just take your brake line very carefully without breaking it, pop it back to there. And now I'm not sure why Napa did this, but they made it so this bolt right here, the self-tapping bolt, there's no threads in this part of the shock. You have to put it in here, try to get it started, tighten it by hand, and then take an impact driver. Let's see, it's not the right size. Impact. Stick it on your impact driver. And it's almost impossible without an impact driver or a drill. And then see how hard that was? It's a pain. Done one of these things, it's about impossible. You probably just use a regular bolt to do it. Okay. So now, we just go ahead and take our regular wrench, and then tighten up the shock here to a nice snug torque. Oh my! Yeah, that's snug. I guess the impact driver is set a little higher than I thought it was. Then we pull our jack out of here. Now work under here is done. Now we just go ahead and look back in the cabin with a wrench, and we go ahead and put those bolts nice and tightened up, and then put the seat back together, and we're done. Alright, so now we just take our wrench in here, and just go ahead and tighten these up. Nice and tight. Not too tight. There we go. Now, the entire shock is bolted back into place. So now we come ahead in here, and just go ahead and put this piece of fabric back in place in the corner here. Make sure it kind of lines up with everything that's supposed to go around. Like that. And then, alright, now, go ahead and try to put this back together. It goes together easier than it comes apart. We just basically tuck into there. Crease it a tiny bit. Tuck it up and back in there. Looks like it's snug back there. And camera guy, would you personally just lift that seat up in the window and look around the taillight and make sure it's tucked in? I would be more than happy to do that.
Lift this up. Oh my. Yes, I think we got it in.
Alright, and then take our little plastic Christmas trees again, and then poke them through this right here, and then scoot all this back a little bit. And clipped in there nicely. And back in here. Same thing, just like that. Now that back piece is securely mounted. Now I'm going to grab the back of our cushion here, which is the heavy part. And first of all, push this back here and pull these seat belts. Camera guy, hold that. Move it over. Pull this seat belt over here. Out of the way. And then the middle seat belt right here. You take this. You feed it through here. Otherwise, if you forget to do this part, you'll be doing it all over again. Let's see here. Where is it? There it is. Just like so. And then go ahead and latch this back together so it's not falling everywhere. And then pick up the bottom of the seat. Put it back here. Make sure you get your seatbelt out of here. Like that. Pick it up, push it back, put it down. That side's not latched. Why not? Or is it just a lot latched? Because of this. There we go, that's fine. Go ahead, pull the seats down, and then we run the bolts in right there. Of our bolts, the long ones go on the bottom, short ones on the top. Cameraman, impact driver please. With 13mm socket on it. You have a 10. Here. Always fun having an assistant. Now I'll put the seats back, like that, like that. Go ahead and use that. There we go. Now the seat is back in there. Now we're going to grab the seat button, and then we're done. If the tire back on, we'll be done. The most important thing when you put this back together is just getting all the seat belts out of the way. Everything go back together easily. Just like that. And then what you do is you lift up in the front here, tuck it in. this. Put this back into here. There we go. Seat belts all in here. Like that. Cushions all tight. Interior is completed. Okay, now tire back on, and then take off the jack. And call it good. Alright guys, now we got the shock all in here, it's all bolted up, interior is all put back together. Only thing left to do is put the tire back on this thing, put the wheel nuts on it, put the hubcap on it, take off the jack, and go for a ride. So let's go and do it. Go ahead and lower this thing. Like that. I'm going to take our wrench, make sure that all these are torqued to spec, or to spec is 2 grunts. Ugh. Ugh. That's my torque wrench clicking. All right. Now, very carefully put the very muddy hubcap on. Line up the tire valve, just like that. And then, there we go. Now we have a nice sporty looking blue shock under our wheel hub. There we go. Alright guys, I believe the key's in it. Let's go for a ride. Alright guys, now we got this shock on this side all replaced, the shock on that side all replaced, and my cameraman is messing with his garage door because now the door, every time I try closing it, just goes beep 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 beep, and now he's, alright, now I'll try it. Hey, there we go. Alright, we'll wait for that to close. Okay, good enough, it's closed enough. Alright, so now that was a tutorial on how to replace the rear shocks on your Ford Taurus. The other side is basically the exact same way. And now we have 2 rear shocks in this thing. This thing rides a lot higher now, a lot stiffer suspension. So yeah, overall, awesome upgrade from what we had before. So now, next video we might be trying to shoot those shocks because I really don't want to take those shocks pressurized to the junkyard because like they have grapples and stuff, and if they grab that with a grapple, it might explode on them. So I have 2 of those things. that we could take out down the lane and shoot with the rifle or something like that. Make an interesting video if it goes through. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching Next Time Technology. Be sure to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you next time. It's so funny looking.